paradise as their abode. Blissful. Blissful. Forever they abide therein. They will never want any other substitute. That's deep. That is so profound that we will never want any other substitute once we get into the garden. You ain't gonna want nothing else. Like how we do on this earth. Oh, you buy a new outfit, you get tired of it, you want another one. Right? You get tired of dealing with certain people, you want new friends. You get tired of your environment, you want to travel, you want to move, you want to do this, you want to do that. But in the garden, you ain't going to want no other substitute because all your fulfillments and desires, God will answer for you. So everything is going to be blissful and beautiful. The Quran, everything we need. Say, if the ocean were ink for the words of my Lord, the ocean would run out before the words of my Lord run out, even if we double the ink supply. Say, I am no more than a human like you, being inspired that your God is one God. Those who hope to meet their Lord shall work righteousness and never worship any other God beside his Lord. That's clear for us because we are submitters, striving submitters, and we believe. We believe. That's why we come to Juam. And if we are not in full belief, we come to Juam to become stronger. This is why God tells us to put off all business and traffic. Why would God say that about Juam? Why? There's a reason for that. Because when you come, you're going to hear something that's going to give you hope and fulfillment to carry you. Because some days our spirits may not be all up and high and mighty. Because we're going to go through tests. Things is going to make you feel a certain way. So this is why we constantly need inspiration from one another. This is why we constantly, as people have been pointing out to me, we should, force ourselves to be with the believers. Thank you, Sister Irene. This is very, very important because we get strength. Because if you by yourself, the wolves will tear you to pieces. The wolves will tear you up to pieces. So it's vitally important for us to constantly examine ourselves. Constantly. Now, a couple of days ago, I was reflecting because I knew I had to get discernment, and I'm trying to get better and more, how would I say this? More coordinated in giving sermons and not be all over the place. Like have an aim and a theme and get straight to the point and not be all erratic and all over the place. Reflections, directions, and upliftment and contentment through commitment to God alone. That's the theme of the sermon. Reflections, directions, because we're getting it from God, the Quran, and upliftment. Because once you reflect, you can see who you are, and then once you follow the directions that's going to help you become a better person, then you become what? Uplifted, stronger, confident, at peace, secure, and contentment. You'll be happy through commitment to God alone. We know that. Knowing God, trusting God alone for all our needs as we strive. Because don't think you're going to get it all if you ain't doing the work to get it. Submission is about putting in some footwork. You to work. And I'm not talking about just punching the clock. I'm talking about punching that spiritual clock. See, this world has fooled us. It has taken us away from who we really are. And we think we got to do all these things to have fulfillment. And all along, all we had to do was look within and find who you are and connect to who you are to the greater one who created you, which is God. God alone. And we are doing this. We are here. We are doing this. And if we're not doing it, we will learn how to do it, because there's some people in here who are on that path. They're on that path. Submission is the key. For the key is submission. We know that. It takes us away from being confined to smallness. Yeah, submission does that. Submission does that. And gives us a larger picture of God's plan for our lives. See, prior to the message of the confident coming, most of us came through various sects of Islam. Shia, Sunni, American Muslim, all these different sects, right? And you know, we felt like we was on the right path and so on and so forth, but there was a lot of bid'ah. And bid'ah is innovation. It's a lot of bid'ah, innovation. You know? Oh, sleep on your right side because the prophet did this. Walk in with your right foot because the prophet did this. It was so much emphasis on idolization of Prophet Muhammad and less emphasis on what God was saying in the Quran. Oh, you got to grow the beard because the prophet did that. Oh, you got to put henna on your beard because the prophet did that. You know, all these innovations. But when Dr. Rashad Khalifa, through God's will, came to us, we got a clear and concise understanding of what it is God wanted us to do and what it is submission is. Because as I made mention, when Dr. Rashad Khalifa came, his mission was to purify the deen way of life from falsehood and corruption. The key was given to the messenger of the covenant, and he gave the key to us willingly and lovingly. And what I mean by that is when Dr. Rashad Khalifa came, he didn't say, oh, you got to give me $29.99 to get this here, like a lot of them do. He didn't do that. He gave it to us willingly and lovingly. The message of the covenant. That's what he did. Willingly and lovingly. And for us who were seeking, for us who were searching, we embraced it. Yeah, we embraced this. Most of us in here been doing this for a minute. Yeah. 15, 20 years in the process of submission. That's right. And we accepted it, and we became aware and stronger. As spiritual beings within this human, fleshy, made from mud body. Yeah. We're made from mud. We know that. That's why when you die, you rot and you stink, and they got to put you in the dirt. Back to the essence. And for those who didn't accept the key, they were weakened and left to their own devices, which was keyless. For they had no true direction, so the door of truth remained closed to them, for they rebelled. And we know that. When Dr. Rashad Khalifa came with this, man, a lot of people, man, they was speaking out about him, making up stuff about him. It was a whole lot of stuff going on. See, let me just say something. See, we should not be a part of something and don't know the history of what it is that we involved in. We need to know the history of submission, how it got started, X, Y, and Z, because this is very, very important, because we don't want to be blind followers in this path. We don't want to be doing things because we see somebody else do it. We want to have knowledge and understanding and wisdom of what it is that we are doing, man. Because we're going to be following somebody and they can lead us to hell. And we don't want to be those people because we came out of that. So this is why it's very important to know the history of something and not go around assuming and doing it because brother or sister so-and-so.